Verbally Effective with Ina Esco is an interview-style podcast that intersects art, culture, politics, and entertainment with a Memphis focus. Each week, I'm joined by a featured guest with roots in Memphis. Verbally Effective delves into each guest's personal journey to uncover the incredible stories fueling their purpose, the highs and lows of their pursuits, and how through their passion, they are moving the culture forward. Greetings, and welcome to another edition of the Verbally Effective Podcast. I am your host, your double E, Ina Esco. You know, this is the podcast that intersects art, culture, politics, entertainment with a Memphis focus. And today I have a special guest that is visiting Memphis today. She is a true star. She's been in the business for over 20 years. She is a songwriter, and her credits are just out of this world. I mean, she's written for superstars such as Beyoncé, Rihanna, Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige, Janet Jackson. The list goes on and on. I am talking about none other than Crystal Nicole. Welcome to the pod, lady.
Thank you for having me. Verbally Effective is such a dope title.
Thank
I'm
you.
sitting there like, wow, that's so crazy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome to Memphis.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yes, you are gorgeous. Can I say that?
Well, let me just receive that. I'm not going to hold
Yes.
you.
You got the natural.
Thank you.
I love it. I was checking out your Instagram as well. But you are amazing. And I really want to start at the beginning. One of the things I'm so excited about when Tracy told me you were coming is that you are a woman occupying the songwriting space.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's so special because we hear often about the men who have all of these writer credits, but you are a woman dominating.
Yes.
That is
God
amazing.
has been good.
Yes. Now, where are you originally from, Crystal?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I am an ATLian.
Yes. So tell me about growing up in Atlanta.
So I grew up doing talent shows, singing with different group members. You know, we thought we was Destiny's Child. We had a new member every week. It was it was crazy. And I was a singer first.
Singer first. Yes, I saw you on The Voice, and your voice
you
is
did?
phenomenal. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Your voice is phenomenal.
Thank
Have you always been into writing as a young child?
No, not at all. I was singing, and I didn't even know that I was singing lyrics. I had no idea what songwriting was. You know, I grew up on Whitney, Mariah, not really Aretha. That was more so my mom's generation, but Boyz II Men, all that. So I didn't know that songwriting was a profession.
Yeah. So in high school, were you like in the choir?
In high school, I was in different singing groups. I was always trying to put something together. I never wanted to go at it by myself. So I always wanted to get people with me, you know. And so then I eventually was told that I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't light enough. I wasn't small enough to be in the front. Yeah, I was told that I couldn't be the singer. I needed to play the background.
And that's interesting because Atlanta has bred a lot of girl groups.
Yes. A lot of greats, you know.
Yes.
We're known for a lot of great artists.
Okay, so tell me how the music career actually started, honey. Like, how did you break just into that space?
What did I do? That is a good question. Okay, so after I was kicked out of my girls group that I was in. Well, actually, I can't even say I was kicked out. They just left. Like, I just showed up to rehearsal and nobody was there.
Nobody wanted to do it anymore.
They were done. Yeah, they was like, you know, we can't. One of my group members was like, I got to go get my degree, you know, because nobody can deny me anything in this life with that. You can keep playing around with music, but, you know, and so I was just left by myself, you know, and I had a choice. And I was like, well, I'll be a solo artist. And that's when I was told all those different things. You can't do it. So I was told that they'll always put a prettier, lighter, smaller girl in the front. And you'll be the most talented person in the room, but you won't visibly be what they need.
Is this executives telling you this?
These were friends, people who think they're trying
like some haters.
Yeah, they think they're trying to, you know, help me out. But no, it was some hate there. And I think, honestly, that's what they were told. And so that's the thing. When people feel that that's their truth, they'll put it on you. And God just had to remind me that before anybody had an opinion, he had a plan. And his plan was always to use my voice for his glory. So
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, what was the breakthrough?
The breakthrough. So after writing probably 1 million songs for no money, being broke, riding around on ball tires, no money to buy lunch, no money to pay my car note. I had the repo man looking for me. After doing all of that, the grind, I came into contact with Jermaine Dupri. Like my manager and another guy kind of introduced me to him, and he signed me as a songwriter.
Wow. Did he see it off top?
He didn't see it off top. He kind of gave me a hard time. Because I believe unless he signed someone recently, I'm the only songwriter he's ever signed.
Really?
Yep.
Was it a pretty good deal?
It was a great deal. It was a great deal because he has all these relationships and he's an incredible songwriter.
Yeah, I was about to say he's
People
an
don't give
amazing
Jermaine
songwriter.
his credit. My God, he's
all
a
that work
mogul.
he did with Usher.
Yeah, Usher, the Mariah. Like I want to say he is responsible for two of the biggest albums of the 2 decades back to back with Confessions and Mariah's album. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was an amazing signing.
Wow, how long were you under a deal with Jermaine?
Probably 15 years, maybe.
That's a long time.
Yeah, and you know I got in with Mariah because of him, and then I was also signed to Sony. So it was a joint venture.
Gotcha.
And so by way of Sony, that came the Beyonce and Rihanna and all the other things. So
wow, that is amazing.
God set me up well.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did incredibly well. You know, you spoke about your humble beginnings, getting with Jermaine Dupri. Let's talk about the process of songwriting for a minute. Do you have a process? Do you have to be inspired first to sit down and actually write a song? How does it work?
That's a great question. My process is to not get in my own way. I can write a song about anything at any moment. I can look around a room and find something. You know, there's a heart on the TV screen that says love. You know, I can write a song about love. There's windows there that says clarity, that says vision. I could write a song from that space. I'm trained to see music in everything because I feel like life has its own soundtrack. And so my job is to pull the song out of that soundtrack. I'm looking for the gold every moment. Mm-hmm. So my biggest hindrance is to just stay out of the way. So when I hear a concept or get an idea, I don't want to edit myself. I want to just go straight into it.
Wow. And as a songwriter, do you only hear the concepts? Do you hear music with it?
Oh, yeah, I hear the whole thing. It's crazy. Yeah, okay. I hear all the music, all the lyrics, the melodies. I even I see the concert. Like I can hear the whole and see the whole vision of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's kind of cool.
It is very cool. Now, what has been your most interesting experience working with some of these top-notch artists?
Oh my gosh. I have a lot of interesting experiences. I will say writing a song on the beach with Mariah Carey was probably it don't get no better than that. You know?
Okay, where were you guys? What beach was?
And we were at Mariah's place in Florida at the time, and we were writing what ended up being her 19th number one, Touch My Body.
Touch My Body.
Yes,
okay.
And we were on the beach. So when it says, you know, I want you to caress me like a tropical breeze, we're sitting there watching a tropical breeze happen, you know, and pulling it right out of
from
life.
The ocean.
Yeah,
oh, wow. So that was a great experience.
Absolutely.
Wow. So was she cool? Because you know they say Mariah diva.
Mariah's royalty for sure. Mm-hmm. But I just remember when she walked in the studio with Jermaine, I was sitting there nervous, like shaking. And she comes right in the door and she says, because they used to call me Crystal. So that was my songwriting name. I'm Crystal Nicole, but Crystal was the songwriting name. You know, you got to have an alias.
Yeah, Crystal.
She comes right in the door, and I've never met her before. She goes, Crystal, it's so good to meet you. And I almost just sunk in my seat, like, oh my gosh, she knows my name. She's talking to me. I mean, she was my vocal coach. She just don't know it. Okay. But growing up, I grew up on her music, you know.
Yes. Remember when she came out with Vision of Love?
Oh, yes. That's
when I fell in love.
That's when I learned how to, her and Whitney taught me how to sing, basically.
Yes, yes. Now, how does it feel to be a woman in the songwriting space?
It's interesting because I thankfully didn't run into a lot of some of the issues that other peers of mine ran into who being a woman, just like being taken advantage of, like sexually and stuff. Like, I didn't run into any of that because I would write my song and go home. So I didn't do the parties. I didn't do the hangouts.
You wasn't outside like that.
Nope. I was always focused on the next line, the next lyric, the next melody, the next concept, the next idea. And when I got it, I was like, ooh, my job is done for the day, and I go home. So I stayed out of a lot of trouble in that way. And I think God just kind of had me in a protected bubble.
You. Yeah, big time. Wow. Because, like I said, being a woman and a Black woman at that, right? Did it ever feel isolating?
Oh, yeah, it was always isolating. Well, what I will say is that I was blessed to have men around me that respected me so much. There was such a respect factor from Jermaine, from Rodney Jerkins, from just different men, that my management, my publishers. They kept me, like I was like everybody's little sister. So I was kind of covered in that way.
Yes. Wow. Now, with technology, there comes AI, artificial intelligence. Has that affected your world in any way with songwriting?
Yes, because what I hear now is you can just go to AI and they'll write you a song.
Yeah.
Like the internet will write you a song.
Right
Google
now,
will write you a
I can
song.
tell it what I want, and boom.
Put a concept in there. It'll give you a concept. I didn't have that luxury. I had to write everything from within, So I get my stuff from the source. God pours something in me, I write it.
Yeah. A lot of people feel like, they can use AI as a tool to help them. But you want to go old school. Keep it old school.
Keep it old school. We're missing that. We're missing the reality in music right now.
Wow. Okay. So do you prefer the songwriting or the performing, the singing? Because like I said, I saw you on The Voice now. You got a voice on you.
Thank
got a
you.
voice on you.
Singing is always my first love. But songwriting is, so singing is my right hand, songwriting is my left. But I am right-handed. So I lead off with singing. It helps my songwriting and vice versa.
Gotcha. And I hear that you have transitioned into a new space. Tell me about that.
So actually, my heart has always been, I'm God's girl. My heart has always been for the Lord and his purposes. He just, the way he set me up, I landed as a songwriter serving these iconic artists first and foremost, so that now I can write my own songs and do what he's called me to do. And so now I have a new single called Won't Stop featuring Lecrae. It comes out tomorrow.
Awesome.
It's a gospel record, and I'm super excited about it.
Okay. Can you give me a little bit? Just a little something.
Oh, you want a little something here in the morning? You can shut up my mouth, tie up my hands, bind up my feet, but I'm still gonna dance. You can cover my eyes, won't change my mind, call me crazy, but you won't stop my praise. Ooh,
girl, that was awesome.
Yay.
I think you just blew Lecrae out the wall. That is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much.
So this is the lane, the gospel lane. This is where you want to be right now.
This is where I want to be, wherever reality in life is. And so in my life, I've walked through some things with the Lord that I need to share.
Yes.
And I've walked through some things where I felt like, personally, love in all aspects. I've been betrayed. I've been walked over. I share it all, So I know we have to put people in boxes and genres. My genre is life, and God is the head of my life. So thus I land in gospel.
Yes, you got to share that testimony with the world.
Yes, because that's how people are set free.
Wow. So no more secular.
Well, it's so funny. I don't even use the word secular. I say mainstream.
I said, should I still be saying secular?
I say mainstream only because there's some beautiful love songs. We were just talking about that. Like Stevie Wonder's written some incredible music that you wouldn't sing it at church, but it's God breathed. Whitney Houston sang some incredible love songs that I feel are God breathed. I can listen to "I Will Always Love You" and go into full worship. She says it's better for you if I go. Basically, that's what the song is saying. But I'll always love you. That's straight from Christ. Christ says it's better for you if I go. I can tie God into a lot of things that people may say are secular. And then there's some stuff out there that I can't tie him into, It just don't fit. It don't work.
No matter how
you try to tie that knot, it just don't work. So
Yeah.
I think there's wisdom in understanding God's character and his nature and seeing him in things that may not be traditional, that may not fit at your church, because a lot of church stuff is just preference based. And God is outside of your preference. So I was just saying that, when you get married, you get on your honeymoon, you probably not on the honeymoon listening to, Miss Shirley Caesar, one of the greats. That's probably not the song you're going to for your honeymoon. You might go to Luther for that, And so those of us who know God and who know the source of love. We're the ones that are supposed to write those records to come from that place.
Mm-hmm.
But you also not gonna find God in in twerk something. That ain't what he had either. So there's a wisdom. You gotta understand.
Right. I can feel that, your energy and how spiritually grounded you are. And you've always been that way, right?
I've always been that way, but I'm growing. I mean, I'm a mess too.
You're a mess too. You like to have a little fun.
I'm a mess. I got some mindsets and some ways that he's constantly trying to change. So.
But just, listening to your story and you talking about how focused you have been and not going to the parties, how have you been able to balance being a spiritually grounded person and be in this industry?
Jesus wouldn't let me do stuff. I'd be so mad. I'd be like, why I can't go over there? And I just can't. Why I can't do that? Why I can't smoke? Why I can't drink? Why I can't, and not saying that this ain't coming at nobody else. This is just me. So before y'all get to getting in your little feelings, this is just me and the Lord and how he works with me. I would be in the studio with people and they would pour me some drinks and everybody was having a good time and I would go in the bathroom, pour the drink out and come back and act like I was lit.
Okay.
Just because I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to. Everything in me wanted it. But the God in me wouldn't allow it. And so we wrestled. Me and the Lord wrestled about that for years. And I think now I just don't fight him as much no more. That's all. I stopped fighting him because he going to win.
Wow. Who have been some of your biggest influences, I guess, at a performance level?
Ooh. Oh, my. I think that Beyoncé is one of the greatest performers of our generation. Of course, Michael Jackson is the greatest performer of any generation.
The greatest.
I love watching Bruno Mars. I think he's so incredible. Talented. Yeah. I really, really enjoy watching. I think Mary were, I wouldn't say were. I mean, they still are, but they haven't done a Mary thing in a while.
You mentioned God and Me. I immediately thought of
yeah, for sure. Erica and Tina, I think they are iconic on stage. Even Yolanda Adams. She captivates. Whitney. Those type of people that just when they open their mouths, it goes silent, and you hanging on every word.
Yes. Wow. Have you had a mentor in this space?
That's a great question. Nobody's ever asked me that. Have I had a mentor? I've had mentors. They don't know they was my mentor though. Like I would say,
happens like that.
Yeah, like I would say, Whitney Houston's my vocal coach. Or I think Jermaine was definitely a mentor for me for sure. Whether he was trying to do that or not, I don't know, but he definitely was a mentor for me. A lot of the artists that I worked with, Beyonce taught me a lot about just the art of vocals and recording. Being in the vocal booth. She would be like, you don't need all this extra stuff for your voice. Just get some hot water and some honey and put a heater. She puts a heater in the vocal booth and then she would sing like 6 songs effortlessly, like back to back, Brandy. Brandy, I would say, is one of those for me too. So a lot of artists that I worked with, I gleaned from them.
Yes. What do you think about Beyonce and her new album? I don't want to say country, but it's giving country vibes all day. It's a Beyonce
giving
album.
Country. Is that I think that she has some of that in her naturally. I think that it was always in there, and I think that at this point in her life and career, she can just kind of do what she want to do.
Such an easy transition.
Yeah, she a country girl. It's in there. So
yes, that Houston, Texas. I'm from Beaumont, Texas, so
so you know.
Yes, I know I know. Wow. Okay, so I do want to ask you, since we're talking about Beyonce. It's been a few things out here in the streets talking about Beyonce not giving writers full credit for their writing. Specifically, let's just talk about Tiffany Red. She's been one of the most vocal songwriters saying that about Beyonce. Have you had that experience?
Well, I will say that all artists, I won't say all, most artists, there was a season where the artist was singing the songs and they weren't getting any I guess the songs were growing, and since they didn't write on them or produce them, the artist was just out there performing the songs, and songs are living and everybody's getting paid but the artist. And so I think that there was a bit of a deficit, right? And then, so what happens when you have a deficit, to counter that, you kind of shift all the way to the other side. And you, if this person on the left isn't getting something, instead of them saying let's meet in the middle, they go all the way to the right and then take from somebody on the right, you know. And so it becomes this bit of a tug of war. And I think that I'm not sure everybody else's experience. I know for me, I've worked with a lot of artists that don't write their songs lyrically, but melodically, vocally, they'll do something in the vocal booth. They write ad libs. They write the way that they sing the song. I saw a clip from Whitney Houston the other day, and she said they asked her about songwriting, and it was so fascinating. She said something like, when I'm singing the song, I'm vocally producing, and I'm a producer in that moment. I'm producing my own vocal, and what you hear is a part of the writing of the song. So I think that there's different ways that you can break down writing. However, as a songwriter and a vocalist that I am, I have definitely given songwriting credits to artists that did not necessarily pen the song. However, I would have preferred than that song sit in my computer and I have 100% of nothing. So there's a bit of a pull. I just think that everybody should hit their just due. So if you're going to do that, you still got to be able to say this person wrote it.
Gotcha.
You can't do that and then leave. I don't believe in ghostwriting. That's to me, I'm not with that. Ain't no ghost around here.
Yeah, we often hear that term, ghostwriters.
Yeah, ain't no ghost. I remember people
especially
say that
in
to
the
me.
rap genre.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. Like, nah, like credit is everything. And so even if you don't pay me, give me my credit because I can go get paid somewhere else for my credits.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't believe in that ghostwriting thing.
Wow. You know, it's so interesting because it would seem like as a songwriter, there would be a contract in place. And the way you just described it, it's a lot going on into writing a song, producing a song. Like, how would you even break that down on paper?
There's a lot. There's a big publishing pie we talk about. It's like basically like a pizza, and 50% of it is music, and the other 50% of it is lyric and melody. And so songwriting is such a living, breathing thing. Somebody could come in the door right now and say, matter of fact, I think, and I could be totally wrong because I didn't write this song, but I think I remember an interview where Beyonce or Rich Harrison was talking about how he came up with Crazy in Love. Got me looking so crazy, right? And he said that Beyonce was about to leave the studio and she said something like, I'm gonna go to the mall. I'm looking so crazy right now. As she left out of the door, she comes back, he has a song, Crazy in Love. What does it say? Got me looking so crazy right now. So technically, that was inspired by something that she said, which makes her a part of the writing in some regard. However, there are songs that were written without the artist being in the room at all. They weren't there at all. And so that may not have been inspired by them in that regard. So you just kind of, I don't know, if this is the side of the industry that you're in and that you're a part of, you get to pick and choose what you want to be in. Nobody's forcing you to be in anything. I do want all my credits for everything that I do. I don't want nothing that I didn't touch. And that's how I roll. But I'm blessed, and I've been very blessed by all the artists that I've been privileged to write for. And I ain't mad at nobody.
Yeah, because it's so interesting the way you break that down, because it's like, who has the last say? Is it the songwriter or the artist? Like, and
I will say,
break it down
with songwriters, we get, if there's we're the lowest on the totem pole. It's not just, we don't just have an issue with artists. We have issue with producers, with labels. Like, songwriters get the bottom. We eat last out of everybody. Know that. Oh yeah.
So is it the producers or is it the artists that get?
There's just a lot of people that get credited before the songwriter gets credited, and so the beef is, give us our credit and then pay us the way that we should be paid. And even now with streaming. I
was going to bring streaming up, digital. Like,
it's tough.
A lot of people don't like that formula.
It's tough to be a songwriter and to make that a living, because everybody's taking. It's music industry is the only business you can legally steal from somebody. You can legally steal my music and listen to it, and I not have enough money to eat lunch, and you listening to my songs every day. So it's crazy, and so there's a lot of frustration there, rightfully so, from songwriters.
Yes, and we brought up AI. AI can take your voice and go do some other stuff.
I'm like, I can't AI some abs. Okay. I'd like abs, but I can't.
You may in the future.
I know, right. I ain't gonna be able to get them unless I go to the gym. Can I AI myself on the treadmill? Like,
oh wow, that is so interesting. This music space,
Yeah.
but it's such a beautiful space at that. And Crystal Nicole, any advice for up and coming songwriters that want to break into the industry? What would you say to them now in 2024?
Well, like I said, if you're trying to break in to make money, this ain't it. This ain't where you want to be. I'm not saying that you can't make money. I'm saying that you don't come in the songwriting industry to make money. You come in the songwriting industry because you have something to say. You have a song that you need to get out. You love it, like you have to love this in order to be in it and have any amount of success in it, because it's a long stretch. This is not the glory road. This ain't the fame road. This is a long stretch. And also know who you are before you get here, because people will try to tell you, and you'll be trying to unpack their lives for years and years. So those are some of the things that I'd say.
Do you have people that come to you, some young songwriters that look to you as a mentor right now?
Absolutely. There are a lot of people always try to make me their mentor. And I just tell people, I'll be your friend, and as your friend, I owe you truth. I owe you to say, hey, that's a cliff. Don't drive off that joint.
Yes.
I don't have to be your mentor. But yeah, there are a lot of them that kind of look up to some of the things that I've been able to do and accomplish, and just my style of writing. I have a certain style. You can normally hear that it's me when someone is singing a song that I wrote. So,
how do you describe your style?
I write very realistic and authentic. Like, I take conversation and put melody to it and make it rhyme. So typically if you hear something that I wrote, it's probably something that you've actually maybe said to a friend or someone said to you before. And also my cadence is, early on in my songwriting, somebody told me to approach singing like a rapper, approach your songwriting like a rapper. And I took that and I started listening to all the punchlines of like just dope rappers, the Waynes, the Jay-Z's, all of that. And I kind of took my songwriting from that space. So you'll always hear there's certain pockets that I land in vocally and lyrically in my records that kind of like, oh, that feels like she had a part to do with that record.
And it feels relatable.
It's relatable. It's very relatable. I'll never write something that sounds like, nobody can relate to that. It has to be relatable.
Yes. Are you a fan of hip hop?
I'm a hip hop fan.
What did you think about this entire pop out with Kendrick Lamar?
Oh, you gonna go there?
Yes.
I just think we all need to like hold hands and like give each other hugs. Life is life, and for all of us.
Yes.
I think I don't know. I mean, I was around with the Tupac and Biggie. I was a young girl in that, that transition, and I don't know. I just feel like I get it,
The beef.
Yeah, I get people. We all gonna have beef. I got beef with my sister, I got beef with my cousin. You know what I mean? I just don't know that I got to record it and put it out though.
and you know what? and at this point, it's like, is it really beef or is it marketing?
It's you just really don't know. And
you
I
never know these days.
I do think that J. Cole apologizing, I thought he was such a man for that.
I agree.
And people slammed him for that. It takes a man to
That's what I said.
To own something like that. He gained so much respect from me in that.
Yes, he felt the fervor coming from K-Dot.
He was like, I don't
want no parts of this. Let me go to apologize.
Because when you think about it, life is too short. You don't want the last thing you did or said to be something negative. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
We don't have time for that.
True. So I know it's not no beefs like that in the gospel world.
Nah, ain't nobody beefing in the gospel. Nah, I don't know. I wouldn't know, but I mean, we are called to handle our disputes differently in the Lord.
Okay.
Amen. Now, whether we do that or not, that's a different conversation.
Okay.
But we're called to reconcile, And, there's nothing that somebody has done to me that I probably ain't did to somebody else or to the Lord himself.
Yes.
So I really don't have a place. I give up my right to be offended when I pick up the cross of Christ. That's the way that works.
All right.
So I have to forgive, even though I don't like you.
Yeah. I guess I got
the Lord will work on me liking you later, but I forgive you though.
Right. And be an example, like, be a steward in that space, in that lane.
And when you've lost, like I've had a lot of, I've lost a lot of people in my life. Like I've had a lot of deaths in my life. So I know the weight of having beef with somebody and then they gone the next day. Like I don't have time for that. Like, let's get past that. I don't like you and I'll probably never hang out with you again. But I don't hate you. I don't want to beef with you. I really want you to win, and I don't wish nothing bad on you. That's my take.
Yes. Wow. Well, Crystal Nicole, you've worked with Lecrae. Is there another artist you want to work with in the gospel industry? It seems like it's wide open for you right now.
I want to work with Jonathan Marinos. I keep putting that out there and seeing if we can make that happen. I want to work with Doe. I think she's amazing.
We had Doe in Memphis for our Sister Strut event.
Oh, she's so amazing.
She's on a guitar, right?
Yes.
Yes.
God, she's amazing.
She was amazing. That was my introduction to her. So I was like, Tracy, who is
that?
Oh,
you were blessed. Yeah.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Awesome.
I would love to work with her. Jacqueline Carr, I think she's amazing. There are a few people in the gospel industry. And Kirk Franklin.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Kirk. He's still good.
Oh, Kirk, yeah.
Are you busy on social media?
I'm not. I'm trying to be. Pray for me. Pray for my social media because
it's so much commitment. These artists live now.
I know. It's just commitment. I just got to think what I'm going to say, what my caption going to say, what my picture going to be, what the video going to be.
Look, that's when you pull that AI out.
That's when I need the AI.
That's when you pull it out.
Come give me a caption. Yes.
It will. It will.
That's what I need to do.
Wow. Well, Crystal Nicole, I have enjoyed you on the Verbally Effective podcast. You are definitely a true inspiration, and you're doing it for the ladies, for the Black ladies at that, in this songwriting space. And I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Thank you.
With your new music in the gospel space.
Thank you. I hope I've been verbally effective.
You have indeed been verbally effective. Please let the audience know how they can continue to follow your journey, access your music, all the things.
Yep, you can follow me at @THEE_Crystal Nicole on all my socials.
Well, thank you so much, Crystal Nicole, for joining me today. And all you Verbally Effective podcast audience members out there, make sure you hit that like on all streaming platforms, subscribe to the pod, and also subscribe to the Ina Esco YouTube channel. Thanks so much.